This is Cindy Cisneros, owner of Creatively LLC, and this is part of your entrepreneur business basics information. And we're going to talk about what are business plans today. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what are business plans in kind of a traditional sense, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of what might that look like for artpreneurs. And let's dive right in. So I want to start with an executive summary. So this is kind of maybe one of the first main components of what might be in a business plan. So an executive summary is going to start with an overview of your company, a mission statement. And by the way, each one of these pieces, I'm going to kind of talk about them in broad strokes, but we'll talk a little bit more in what is a business plan about how to write these, and I'll give you more resources about how to come up with these. But you're going to start with a company overview, a mission statement, and a business model. Now, a business model, I'm going to do a whole separate how-to on what is a business model because there's a lot of really good stuff that goes into your business model. And things that go into your business model are things like, and these may be things that you've heard kind of thrown around in your business world stuff before, your value proposition, your customer segments, your marketing channels, your revenue streams, your key resources, your key partnerships and activities and pricing, and all of this kind of stuff goes into your business model. So we're going to talk in a separate kind of section about how to put together your business model, because if you really want to do a business plan that's a little bit less complex and a little bit more specific to get you up and running, you could really start with a business model. But if you wanted to put your business model into your big business plan, it traditionally goes into this executive summary. And financial projections for your business usually go into the executive summary. So this is traditional business planning. For an art business, what an executive summary might look like for you is your artistic vision, your artistic goals, your target audience, and a mention of what some of your income goals look like for your business. So let's kind of review. A standard business plan is going to emphasize the business structure, financial outlook of the business. An artist business plan is going to center on the creative vision and the personal goals of the business. A second major section of a business plan is going to contain the description of the business. So, a standard business plan is going to have the history of the business, an overview of the industry that the business belongs in, and one of the most important things that's going to go in this section are the products or services being offered. Um, in your artist business plan, you're going to have uh, like a bio or a profile of yourself as an artist, something about your artistic style, something about the medium that you use, and maybe a summary of key works or exhibitions that you've been in. This is going to be your artistic background. So a comparison of this section of your business description in a traditional business plan, you're going to be describing the nature of the business and the industry, but in the artistic business plan, you're going to be talking more about the practice, the artist history. It's going to be more personal and focusing on the creative aspects rather than the industry that the business is plugged into. So the third section that traditionally goes into a business plan is called market analysis. So a standard business plan is going to have a detailed analysis of the target market, trends, the competitive landscape, kind of help you place where you're going into that market, how you're entering into that market. Now, an artist business plan is going to identify the target audience for your work. This is really cool and really exciting to think about and talk about Who are you painting for? What are you commenting on? Who is your work trying to reach? You're going to be also thinking about, and this is something we talk about in mindset too, relevant art market trends, unique aspects of your work as compared to others who are also in the art world. So both plans are going to talk about the market, but the artist plan is more niche focused, concentrating on specific art audiences and artistic trends rather than kind of broad market and product data. The fourth section that's going to be in your business plan is marketing and sales strategy. So, in a standard business plan, we're going to be looking at advertising strategies, sales channels, customer acquisition, and retention strategies. In an artist business plan, this could be thinking about how artists are going to promote and sell their work, including things like online presence. We talk a lot in the art world about what this looks like on social media, on our artist websites. We can be talking about too how to get represented. For example, if you're a visual artist, you can see that I'm a visual artist by the artwork behind me. Gallery representation. But certainly there are art industries that represent all different types of artists. So, what that looks like for you and your industry, and also things like pricing strategies. So, while both plans are going to include marketing and sales strategy, your artist plan is tailored towards your creative promotion methods and industries that you're trying to enter, or how you're going to be promoting yourself, whether you're doing direct sales to collectors or you're going through traditional industry representation methods. And this is a lot of times where we talk about traditional versus artpreneur selling and sales entry points. The fifth section of your business plan is your operations plan. So, in a standard business plan, this is the details of your day to day ops. So, this is location of where you're selling, the equipment, the production, the supply chain, this kinds of things. Now, that's for if you're a products business. It's a little bit different for if you are a service business. For artists, this is going to describe things like your studio setup, the production of your art, how you source and manage materials, if you're a performance company, what that looks like on a day to day, the doing of your creativity and the operations of that. So, both plans are going to cover the operation aspects of running the business. The sixth part of your business plan is organization and management. So, in a standard business plan, we're talking about organizational structure like management team, staffing plan, advisors, board members. For an artist business plan, this can include things like collaborations, assistants, mentors, certainly plenty of arts businesses have management teams, staffing advisors, and board members. But if you are an individual artist, it's oftentimes focused on your individual work and responsibilities. So, in a standard business plan, you may be emphasizing a structured organization with multiple roles. In an artist plan, it may be, depending on how you're structured and what the responsibilities of your business are, it may be more focused on individual work or smaller collaborations. The seventh part of your business plan are the financials. So the standard business plan is going to include detailed financial projections, break-even analysis, funding requirements, financial metrics. We don't love these things as artists traditionally, but they're an important part of our business plan. So, your business plan as an artist is going to provide a basic overview of your income sources. It could be grants funding, it could be crowdfunding, it could be your own grassroots startup funding, but it's going to need to have a simple budget, sales goals, and funding needs for things like project supplies, studio upgrades, and more. So a standard plan is going to include probably more complex financial details, but an artist plan is often more straightforward, focusing on basic income and expense tracking. And now, again, a lot of this is kind of assuming that when we're talking about artist planning, that you're starting with an individual artist and potentially building outward, but that's not always the case. There are plenty of arts orgs that are going to have a lot of similarities with standard business planning, and your business plan may look like a standard business plan. And the final section that is on a standard business plan, and of course there are varieties in all things, is an appendix. So in a traditional appendix on a traditional business plan, you may find supporting documents like resumes, legal agreements, detailed research. On an artist business plan, you may find things like portfolios, artist resumes, contracts or agreements with galleries and or clients. Essentially, in the appendix, in either plan, you want to have additional important documents. So the artist plan is going to often focus on things that showcase the creative work, while the standard plan may include more documents that are technical or legal. Um, but certainly, as an artist, if you have technical and legal documents in support of your business, you should certainly include them with your business plan documents. So, overall, when we're thinking about a business plan, a standard business plan is going to be focused on overall business structure, financials, market positioning. As an artist, think about this when you're writing your business plan in terms of personalized business centered on creative goals and financials that are more simplified, especially initially. Um, in terms of complexity, standard plans are often more complex because standard plans are oftentimes multiple people coming together to put the business together. Um, I hate making sweeping statements like that because immediately I thought of there's entrepreneurs who come together start as one person, start as two people. Certainly. Um, so sweeping generalization. A lot of times artists who are artpreneurs and starting as one or starting as few, um, you can certainly start as an artist with a streamlined, focused, essential plan that's needed to support an artistic practice and build from there. So I think it's really useful to think about your business plan in that way. And in terms of audience, a standard plan can be written for people like investors and stakeholders, but your artist plan can be written for your personal use to guide your own intentions and your own creativity and your own discipline, but also for galleries and also for potential buyers. So the reason that you're writing it is vastly different also. So I wanted to give you this video just to kind of guide the additional materials. I'm going to give you some written materials that are the overall components kind of broken down on what goes into a standard business plan so that you can see that, and what goes into an artist business plan so that you can see that. And then I also want to give you a document that does this kind of comparison for you so that you can decide which type of business plan you want to use or if you want to do some sort of hybrid between the two of those. But then also, as promised, I want to drill down into this business model because I think that it gets a little bit glossed over when we talk about a business plan as a whole. But you really could start in terms of simplicity and personal use and really getting going with a business model and set a lot of the rest of this aside for a minute, just for a minute, because I really think the business model contains a lot of the good information that you need. So, that being said, I hope this was useful in terms of wrapping your arms around different sorts of business plans, how business plans are important for artists. And stay tuned for some of the other information and materials. Go to thecreativitycourses.com. There is a free course, Business Basics for Artpreneurs, where you can get all of this information that I'm talking about on these YouTube series, templates, um, affiliate resources. These videos are here on YouTube. The articles that I'm mentioning, all of it for free because it's really important to me that the frustration that I had as an artist, that other artists report to me having, and trying to get the information necessary to understand the basics of doing art as a business. uh, the obstacles are just not in the way because we are in an information age and information abounds, and all of the messiness and the paywalls and the red tape and the frustration that exists to as barriers to this information shouldn't be. And so I'm trying to get them all out of the way and get this information as digestible and available to you as possible. So I'm going to create a library and continue to grow it for you. And as you find this content and as you have questions, send me your questions, post them here on YouTube, send them to me at questions@creativelyllc.com, post them on the creativity courses business basics module, and tell me what other information that you want to see that's not there so I can continue to add to the value of these courses for you all to help you get your art out into the world. All right, guys, hopefully helpful. See you around.